Hey, I thought I'd give an update on kind of day 2 of the Shaper Origin. So I had the X-Carve, and I had built this off of their hub, and it's basically 2 cylinders come together for a ring box. So I thought I would. What I found with the X-Carve is it was fairly accurate, but it wasn't perfect. So I wanted to try this with the Shaper. I started with just MDF to be cheap, and this was yesterday's effect. And you can see here, it was not accurate whatsoever. You can see here this side was shorter or more narrow than this side. Same with the outer ring here, the inner ring here. You can see here with this finger. Now, during this cut, I had a full reboot on the Shaper. The screen went dark, and you got the traditional or the typical reboot here. Now, when I came back alive, it remembered where I was, but I suspect that it was maybe just a little off. So I'm gonna chalk that up to that. That was yesterday. Today, I started with basically this piece, and I did a 3/4 inch MDF, so it's a little bit more, it's shorter than this one, and it did pretty good. It made this, and I'm going to show you what happened. Pretty accurate, and I did this all on tool design, meaning I didn't use Fusion or any CAD. I placed a circle, a 3-inch circle, and I used the outside cut, and then I used offsets. So I did either a 0.5, so the outside would have cut this here, and then for the inside here, I did a negative 0.5 offset, which compensated for the bit, and then this is what I wanted to be left with. And then for this, I did a 0.25 offset, positive 0.25 offset. And then I drew another circle on the tool and did pocketing in here. So I would go 0.1 depth, I would cut out here, I'd do the negative 0.5, and I would cut here, and then I would do the pocket, and I'd cut this out, and then I would do the outside cut again, 0.25, excuse me, and cut this. And I did that all the way down for this depth of 0.6 to here, and then I just finished up with 2 extra cuts to get this, okay? Then I went to the cap. Very similar, I did a 3-inch circle tool design right on the tool, and I did an inside cut to create this, and then I did a negative 0.5 to get out here, and then I just did the pocket again. And for the pocket, I did not have to draw a secondary circle to do pocket. If you try this, you're gonna learn a lot about the tool. You know, the cuts are all right. I think I could have slowed down a little bit. You can see some roughness there. And then I think what I could have done, well, here's what happened then. So I had 2 pieces, right? And boy, it was precise. I mean, because they were both 3-inch circles, one on inside and one on outside, these barely fit. And I pushed it on there. First I tried to do a little hand sanding inside and out, pushed it on there, and it was stuck. So silly me, I took a little screwdriver and tried to pry it open, and of course popped this off because it's MDF. But it was a good learning exercise. I think what I would do next, in my next iteration, is do a 0.01 offset to make this smaller, and same here, make this smaller as well. So there's just more clearance to get these pieces together. But I really wanted to see how accurate the tool was. It seems very accurate until you get down, and I don't understand why this would be, but when you get down to the 0.6 cut, 0.7 cut, and 0.8 cut to get through a 3/4 inch piece, that 0.7 and 0.8, that's where it screwed up on this one. This one was turning out perfect, and I don't recall if that's when I had the reboot or not, So I don't know, lessons learned, that's why I did an MDF. But I would definitely then do that 0.01 and another 0.01 to kind of create a little bit more tolerance and clearance here. But my initial thought is that this will work out nicely. So I will try this in like maple or walnut or something next and see if that works. I think you could also do it in a rectangle. So on the tool design, if you thought of this as a rectangle, why couldn't you create a little box that way too? Just a square or rectangle box. So lessons learned. A couple other things I had to happen. On the tape, I do get a lot of, and Kylie commented on this. What's it called? High resolution error or something. It'll be on the top of the screen and it'll have a digit, and that digit will always be changing. And there's nothing to type or to hit. But they say it has to do with if you move the tape after you scanned it. Now I didn't, but I'm wondering if my table, I'm on a Festool MDF table, which is pretty sturdy, but I'm wondering if it just read a little bit of the movement with the router and maybe the table shook a little bit. That is a major error. When that happens, it does create a mess. I had this one here, and you can see I was like on the second cut, 0.2, and that happened, and the circle was gone. It totally got screwed up. The other error I had, and it's posted on the forum, is when I scan, sometimes I get a low usability error and there's an OK button on it right after you scan. So you scan, it's stitching it all together and it comes back, low visibility error. I must have scanned a half a dozen times and I could not get that to go away. So I hit OK and it seemed fine. So I don't really know what that means, but those are my insights on day 2. Hope you learned something. I'd love to see lettering on the machine. I know we're all supposed to go learn Fusion 360. I'd rather spend time in the shop than on the computer. I spend my days on the computer. So if we could do more on the machine with offsets and lettering, I think that'd be awesome. So hopefully that'll come. Thanks.